For the past years I can see a lot of videos with the main idea like Minecraft content ain't like it was before, thus I'm gonna be playing beta Minecraft, please y'all join me. Other people please hear me out, help me with my psychological trauma, I wanna make a skill shooting and etc. But today I'm gonna be introducing you into an important topic with the best way in my opinion to deal with it. A lot of, if not all of the videos with the topic I mentioned earlier are reproducing the same idea, which is in summary goes like: yearly we had a good adult Minecraft content with soul in every video. It was funny, good, awesome. Now many have destroyed this section of content, and unfortunately we have got lots of actually same videos with no soul, hardworking and uniqueness as such. And I can fully approve this opinion due to a lot of content in this sphere has really become the same mediocre crap through so many years, and we absolutely must do something on it. But how are we going to? Most people trying to invent a bicycle with the main suggestion to try to boycott some of these content factories, either try to make more of good content for the sake of covering bad, or even just help on the people like after my video they won't be watching this limpinism anymore. But all these ideas are absolutely ineffective and cannot take place in the modern world. So I'm here to suggest a really working way to solve most of these problems and even more. My way is going to help everything on the internet and moreover in real life. The main reason for this issue is the phenomenon that most of all know, and so call it capitalism. Through many years it was the biggest evil of all civilization, and now it has come even to the, as it used to look, free land of liberty. Its effect has been destroying humanity, humans' values and lives. Exactly this particular thing is the very key of the entire issue. It always was on the surface, but no one mentioned it. Why? Because they all are dogs of the great evil, known as the imperialistic machine that has been working for a long time and preparing the world to a bourgeois hell for all the free people to exist. They've been slavering us step by step, day by day, and if we won't stop it now, it will get us also. And finally, it will be too late. Minecraft was one of the last islands of proletarians' freedom, but it's been becoming a part of the great evil as well. As a free community, we must stop this morphing into the real unstoppable machine. We must keep the game free. We will make a little step for people, but a large step for history. We will get up all of the proletarian from all the countries, and the evil shall be stopped at once and forever. We, as proletariat, will continue the business of our fathers and grandparents, Karl Marx and Lenin, Alexander Dugin and Jeffrey Epstein, Pol Pot, Leon Trotsky, Engels and Zarathustra. We will liquidate the basic principles of capitalism, destroy all the dictatures, break the logic and make a lot of hungry people in some West China province. We will help the world to become great and free again. Arise, ye prisons of starvation, arise, ye wretched of the earth. For justice thunder condemnation, a better world is in birth. No more traditions, chains shall bind us. Arise, you slaves, no more in thrall. The earth shall rise on new foundations. We have been out, we shall be all. We will destroy all kinds of not sure about that. As Trotsky has written in his book, the imperialistic capitalism will be destroyed, I promise you it is. And we are in the very place that will be titled in the history as the new beginning. We may see a lot of uncreative creators across the internet, and through we know that in the time of great communism there will be no place for a man, woman, either transgender to hold a place that doesn't belong to themselves. It is a duty for each and every aware being to confront all the slaves of imperialistic dystopia in ways of cancellation, which is unfortunately is difficult to be made through our forces are not yet full of concerned people. So there is the only one way among the two, and we just call it as rearguing the lumpen, who I believe is still fixable due to the absolute dogmatism of the ideology of egalitarianism, which declares the truth of what you have probably got from the title, equality of all the people on the earth, independent from whether you are a human, a woman, either a listener of Billie Eilish, which also provides you comrades an interesting fact, which actually is an additional motivation to fight against the machine of so-called traditionalism. The way of us since the beginning of the first movements was and is to be not like everyone, like a true punk, a white man in London. So we should, in my opinion, make our advertisement at the same time freaky, but at some point familiar to the proletariat. which actually shall help us to collect much more people, even those who are afraid to fight. So, what is required from you as a unit is to wear your best clothes up, say a prayer, and go touch the grass. And after this process is made, and you are slightly more ready to so-called communication to the people, it will depend on the country where you do live, because the instructions above was relevant for all the lands across the world, except probably Somalia and New York City, because I wish all the leftists there to keep yourself safe and stay at home when it's possible, which in the case of the second one place will be much more difficult due to your tent might be destroyed by some wild dog. But back to the main topic. You want to approach a person on the street and slowly say them, "Excuse me." They will count you as some funny homeless, and then your field is absolutely clear, and only charisma is in game. Clarify the other person's position by creating an amplified or widely ordered version of their argument. It allows you to easily find the full version of their point while including their actual stance. For example, if you're arguing on the topic of economic calculation problem, so after your opponent ends his speech, which was the answer on year 1, you simply say that the calculation problem is a bourgeois myth perpetuated by capitalist apologists to scare the working class away from socialism. In a socialist society, we won't need arbitrary allocations of the market economy. Central planning will allow us to rationally allocate resources based on the needs of people, not the profit motives are greatly capitalist. Prices are social construct, not a natural law, and we can create a new system of according that reflects the true value of labor and resources. The idea of bureaucrats couldn't possibly manage a complex economy is at least inconsiderate. The working class has the intelligence and collective wisdom to build a better future, and we won't be deterred by the fear-mongering of capitalist ideologies. Not attack person characters or credit loss unless they look out of your taste instead of addressing their argument. This shifts the focus away from the issue and clarifies the person, making it harder them to be taken seriously due to their mind being filled by your compliments. Like your argument is in dead end, but you have watched my video and in response to their claim on so-called fact that USSR used to be sponsoring Israel on the first stages of its formation, you call this person a retarded swine with no taste who voted for Republicans in the last election, and, with the most choreographic way, go away. It looks insulting for the first time, but in long run you will be considered as a strong one opponent for such kind of conversation, and no so-called prepared guilty of the bourgeois propaganda will be in fear of even meeting you on a street, which will at some point of your career either bring police at your dwelling or clear the streets of Limpins to provide wide access to really appointed electorate for the beginning of the first phase that will be led by your local commune formed by you, my dear fighter for Black Minecraft. May seem we went a little bit from the topic which opened the video in the first place, but this was actually made to not throw Marxist readers out of their comfort zone. That, I suppose, was done successfully. So, if you have got something to add I have forgotten, either instead, the comment section is open for all correct people, even you. So, if you enjoyed the video, you can support me and give me some money using the link in the description. So, God bless y'all.